Schumacher leads, and up alongside Villeneuve comes Heinz-Harald Frentzen. Damon Hill is there too, but Coulthard has come through. Mika Häkkinen is up there. Fantastic start. Let's hope there are no collisions. It's absolutely perfect for Michael Schumacher and terrible for Jacques Villeneuve.
Welcome back. Still no change. The Ferrari of Schumacher out in front. The two Williams are chasing. Villeneuve now really on the charge. So let's go straight back to Murray.
Through because already he was in the slipstream and it's going to be hurting him, and more importantly, Murray, hurting his rear tyres. You slide around much more behind another car, which is why I was so amazed that Villeneuve ended up behind Frentzen in the first place. Straight up to the grass, no further, otherwise you'll lose time, and drive for the line. It's a 24.5 for Schumacher and a 24.5 for Villeneuve. It's been so close, hasn't it? All year, all weekend, all race.
And look at this. This is Mika Häkkinen in the McLaren with David Coulthard behind him, and the two McLarens are right up now with Heinz-Harald Frentzen, who is dropping back. Now Mika Häkkinen was in terrific form during qualifying, and this morning he was fastest. His teammate David Coulthard was fourth fastest, and they're going to be pushing. They are pushing Heinz-Harald Frentzen in the Williams very hard indeed for that third position. So Coulthard is fifth, Damon Hill is still in sixth position, and Damon Hill is catching Coulthard, who is right behind Häkkinen, and I therefore think that Heinz-Harald Frentzen is holding them all up. He's causing a traffic jam.
Well, he's playing the rear gunner a little bit with the McLarens. We do know they're fast. We do know they're working very, very well with 80 kilos or so of fuel on board. Really, the rear gunner action should have been against Michael Schumacher, but at least if he can keep these two McLarens off of the gearbox of Jacques Villeneuve, he'll be helping him out quite a lot, so Villeneuve can concentrate solely on Michael Schumacher and build a gap so that after the pit stops, they're not going to end up mixing it with the McLarens. Frentzen can do a very, very important job here, as you rightly point out, Murray.
So out of the centre chicane into the 13th and last corner of the track, look back and you see Damon Hill is the fourth of these cars. He's just out of shot at the moment, but Hill is actually catching David Coulthard's McLaren, and he's going to be right under the wing of the Mercedes-powered McLaren any moment now. Race leader, Michael Schumacher. The gap is 4.8 seconds. Schumacher is pulling away from Jacques Villeneuve and cars in this event, and in particular Eddie Irvine is at it again because he's now still in seventh position, but he's only half a second behind Damon Hill, and it would be nice to see that. And I've just heard that Michael Schumacher is about to make his first stop.
Because he's got traffic in front of him, look. He has traffic. Let's wait and see in view. Yes, he's catching a back marker. He doesn't want to lose even the second that's going to cost him going round, who I believe is Marquez. I think it's Marquez. Yes, there we are. And it's going to cost Michael a second if Marquez is even half awake. So they're going to pit him, I suspect, maybe a lap early to give him some clear air when he goes back on the track. They will also have to look at what is the gap behind Michael. Will that put him into a gaggle of cars where he has to fight and lose even more time? I'm assuming he's something like 16 or 17 seconds ahead of those two McLarens. It's an early stop, and Williams are responding. Williams are responding.
And right up with Tarso Marquez, I hope he's watching his rear mirrors, comes Michael Schumacher. Now's the time for him to come in. The gap between himself and Jacques Villeneuve on lap 22. It's going to be an earlier stop than we expected.
No, Marquez tried to let him through.
Here he comes, James Allen.
The Ferrari mechanics standing by, atmosphere of calm down here. They're going to put 57 kilos of fuel in, which is enough for a two-stop strategy. This Ferrari car engine, burns about 2.5 kilos of fuel per lap. Michael Schumacher in, they go to work. Well, you can see it for yourself, boys. Meanwhile, the Williams mechanics are ready. I can't see who they're waiting for, but we'll soon find out.
And out goes Michael Schumacher. Jacques Villeneuve has gone into the lead. Now let's see who is behind Michael Schumacher as he joins the race. And it's David Coulthard, who is in 5th position. So Michael Schumacher has rejoined in 4th place. Villeneuve leads, Frentzen is 2nd, Hakkinen is 3rd. They've all got to stop, of course, and they've got the traffic problem now. Because look, there is Tarso Marquez, and Jacques Villeneuve is going to lose time unless he comes in. And there's Damon Hill coming out of the pits, so he's had his first tyre stop. Now Jacques Villeneuve must come in now, or he's going to lose time getting past Tarso Marquez.
In fairness to Marquez, he moved over to the left to let Schumacher through on the racing line, obviously completely unaware that Schumacher was going to pit. So Marquez cost Schumacher a lot of time going into the pit lane, nothing like enough to lose the lead. But here, Villeneuve's losing. Now, I wonder if he'll do the same thing again, if he'll move over to the left. No, Villeneuve's not quite close enough, and he goes in the pit lane this time. The tyre covers off, we know. James, are you there?
Absolutely waiting for Jacques Villeneuve as Jos Verstappen just goes flying past. 7.9 seconds the target for Jacques Villeneuve, but he's definitely lost a little bit of time on the in-lap. Well, the tyres were ready for him when Schumacher came in. He didn't obviously follow him into the pits, which is an interesting decision, and Martin, I'm sure, will be able to guess why he didn't do that. But
Heinz-Harald Frentzen leads the European Grand Prix at Jerez, and as you saw, the timing figures went all awry. I can't tell you what the time was. I can tell you that Michael Schumacher took 7.6 seconds, and I can tell you that Heinz-Harald Frentzen is in the lead. There is the proof, and behind Frentzen is Mika Hakkinen. These are the leaders. Frentzen leads in the Williams. Mika Hakkinen is 2nd in the McLaren, and tight up behind them is the Ferrari of Michael Schumacher. So Schumacher is benefiting from that pit stop. Behind Schumacher is David Coulthard. There is the McLaren Mercedes. Behind Coulthard is Villeneuve. And in 6th position in the 2nd Ferrari is Eddie Irvine. Now these are the two that had the confrontation in the pit lane after Eddie Irvine blocked Jacques Villeneuve on a quick lap in practice yesterday. So Eddie Irvine has told Jacques Villeneuve he's going to make his life as hard as he possibly can to help his teammate, Michael Schumacher.
We understand that Villeneuve's pit stop was slightly faster than Michael Schumacher's, not enough to leapfrog ahead of him on the racetrack, but finally the McLarens are now having their say in the race. You can see Michael Schumacher behind Mika Hakkinen. I'd like to know how much fuel are on board those McLarens. They've been so fast in the warm-up, in race trim. They haven't shown that kind of speed in the race so far, and you wonder really if they're going to a very long first stint or even a one-stopper. But here's Eddie Irvine in for his pit stop.
From 7th
Good
place.
practice for the Ferrari mechanics. The refueling rig comes up. That's a great stop.
7.1 seconds. I think that's the fastest we've had. Irvine came in from 7th position behind Gerhard Berger. And there's Damon Hill. Damon Hill trying to go through on the inside and take Eddie Irvine's 7th place away from him. Well, so there is Frentzen, and that is Michael Schumacher in 3rd position. Between them is Mika Hakkinen, and behind Michael Schumacher is David Coulthard. 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th all together on lap 25 out of 69. So we're rather more than 1/3 of the way through this vital European Grand Prix, which is going to decide the World Championship of 1997. And at the moment, it's not looking good for Jacques Villeneuve. But with those 45 laps still to go, anything can happen.
Now, this is bad news for Michael because it's costing him something like 1.5 seconds per lap. Frentzen is now really playing his part because he's in the mid-26s. When Michael came in, he was in the low 1:24s, even as much as 2 seconds per lap. And this is going to give Villeneuve a great opportunity to close that 5-second gap.
He's fastest.
Villeneuve goes fastest, 1:23.9, a new lap record for Villeneuve. And Coulthard is in the pits for his stop, 7.6 seconds, you can see. So that's going to move the McLarens out of the way of Michael Schumacher. And now if Williams have got a good strategy, they'll have put a lot of fuel in Frenson's car, and he will be able to run, and do a really good spoiling job to bring Villeneuve back into contention. And there is Villeneuve.
Look how close they are.
No, that's Villeneuve behind Schumacher.
Yeah, Villeneuve right up behind Michael Schumacher. And remember, the gap was over 5.3 seconds. In comes the Benetton. The Benetton of Jean Alesi from 12th position. At the present moment, Jacques Villeneuve is the fastest, the first man to go round in under 1:24 seconds. 1:23.972. We're with him now. That is his World Championship rival, Michael Schumacher, ahead of him. Ahead of Schumacher is Hakkinen. Ahead of Hakkinen is Frenson. Frenson is doing his job supremely well. His job is to slow things up and let Villeneuve catch Schumacher, which he has done. But Frenson in the lead and Hakkinen in second place have still got to come in. And Michael Schumacher knows he's got a battle on his hands now as he comes up to complete his 26th lap out of 69.
There we see them through turn 1. Villeneuve close up behind Michael Schumacher, and he's doing a feint there up the inside. He wasn't trying to overtake, obviously, just really wants to distract Schuey. He's moving around in his mirror saying, look, here I am, let's go and play. And Frenson up front, they're still slowing them down, now by 2.6 seconds per lap. And, well, this is the second race in succession where Michael Schumacher's had a face full of Williams trying to go slowly, and Villeneuve's in the slipstream, and he tries to have a go at the inside, but not close enough. Michael covers the inside line, and they're up and running, and obviously Hakkinen has now moved out of the equation, and really it's just, I wonder how much fuel they've got in that Williams and how long Frenson can stay out there doing this slowing down job.
Yeah, I think we ought to apologise for the fact that the coverage is, to put it mildly, not what we would like it to be. You should have seen Jacques Villeneuve coming right up behind Schumacher then. You didn't. It's till too late. But we're doing the best we can to keep you in touch with what is a great race. Lap 27 out of 69, and the World Championship fight is well and truly on. That's the gap. It's a visual gap between Schumacher in second place, Villeneuve in third position, and of course Michael Schumacher is conscious of the fact that it's Heinz-Harald Frenson who is Villeneuve's teammate in front of him, and he's got to be very cautious about how he passes him.
Right, Frenson now 2 seconds faster, going to 24.7 for him. The team have obviously said, OK, you've done your job, Villeneuve's closed up, get on with it so you can stay in a good race position. That was the move we saw earlier of Villeneuve having a stab up the inside into turn 6, the hairpin, and now Williams have said to Frenson, get on with it. We need you back in the race ahead of those McLarens so you can play this game again later on. And you can see Frenson pulling away from Michael Schumacher. Why? Because he has much less fuel on board. 14 corners, 2 3/4 miles. This racetrack is all about corners, and the fuel load slows you down a great deal around here.
To Michael Schumacher and Jacques Villeneuve as they come up to out to Norberto Fontana, who is the Argentinian driver, and he's between. Now this is going to help Schumacher because Fontana has let Schumacher through, and he's balking, inadvertently I hope, Jacques Villeneuve.
Well, that's always the problem that I mentioned. You let one through, and that's it. They pull back onto line, and they almost have to reset the computer before they're ready to let the next one through. And look how much time that's cost Villeneuve. As Fontana moves out of the way, Villeneuve moves behind him in order to get the slipstream, and now he brakes on the clean side of the track and goes through. That's cost him dearly. Meanwhile, Frenson sets a new fastest lap back there in 5th place. Now he's got the new tyre.
Welcome back. This happened just a few seconds ago. Michael Schumacher into the pits. AJ, this could win or lose this race.
It certainly could, and you know, there's no doubt about it. It's Villeneuve is still out on the track. He's taken over the lead. Schumacher now pulls up, but Villeneuve really has to go like hell in this one lap to try and get that deficit back.
And while we're back live, here's Villeneuve coming into the pits now. So we've had the Ferrari out in front of the McLarens. He got out in front of the 2 McLarens. Now here's Jacques Villeneuve. He's straight into the pits. We're back live now. Back to Murray.
Critical thing is Irvine for the spoil Villeneuve's day today. 9.4 seconds was the target to beat. Up to you.
And he's done it, 8.3 seconds. So Villeneuve has gained 1 second, and look, the McLaren goes past him. So Villeneuve has lost a place there. No, this is indeed the pit stop that could decide the World Championship.
I want to see if Villeneuve went back up the inside there of Coulthard. No, he didn't. That's very, very bad news for Villeneuve. He's going to lose time now. Schumacher got just ahead of those McLarens. Villeneuve appeared to be steady into turn one, and Coulthard nailed him on the brakes, and there's the net result of that.
And Villeneuve and Coulthard are great friends. They live in Monaco, go out a lot together, but it's all fair in love and war on the racetrack. And Villeneuve is suffering now because he's being held up, and David Coulthard has yet to make his second stop, which both Villeneuve and Michael Schumacher have done. And there is the battle, and behind the first Williams Renault is the second one, as towards us comes Michael Schumacher. Behind him is Salo, who is well back in the race in the Tyrrell. There is the McLaren of David Coulthard ahead of Jacques Villeneuve, who is trying to get through, and in comes David Coulthard.
That could be critical. Häkkänen's already been in the pits. That's going to help Villeneuve a lot. He only had to follow for one lap with his fresh tyres, so no particular damage done there. As Coulthard makes his way down the pit lane at 80 kilometres per hour, just 50 miles an hour is the limit because it's such a small, narrow pit lane. As Coulthard goes in, you can see the time on your screen, 7.1, a great stop. I wonder if that'll get him back out in third place ahead of Häkkinen and Frentzen, as we see now, once again, the two championship leaders a line astern. There's Villeneuve in second place, Schumacher 2.5 seconds further along the track. There he is now.
So both Michael Schumacher and Jacques Villeneuve, who are now back in first and second places, have made their second and last stops. And Heinz-Harald Frentzen is in third place ahead of Gerhard Berger. Frentzen just behind Villeneuve, and of course he will stay there. He's not going to do anything to take points away from Jacques Villeneuve. So Villeneuve knows that his rear is being protected by Heinz-Harald Frentzen, who will stop any argy-barging from Gerhard Berger, who will be anxious to get the best possible points he can in his last Grand Prix, because the great Austrian with over 200 Grand Prix to his name has announced his retirement. So Schumacher leads, lap 46. Villeneuve is second, Frentzen is third, Berger is in fourth place, David Coulthard is fifth, Mika Häkkinen is sixth, Eddie Irvine is seventh in the second Ferrari ahead of Damon Hill, ninth is Johnny Herbert, 10th is Jan Magnussen, and the gap between Michael Schumacher and Jacques Villeneuve is down to just over 1 second.
Strange lap there from Michael Schumacher, 1:25.6, very, very slow, lost 1.6 seconds to Villeneuve.
Well, if Villeneuve can get past Michael Schumacher, you can bet your bottom dollar that he's going to take a bit of shifting, because he will be on target for the World Championship. And he's on lap 47 now in a 62-lap race. So it's their last Grand Prix after 7 wonderful World Championship years, in which they've dominated everything, and naturally they want one of their cars to come home in first place. Well, at the present moment it can only be Jacques Villeneuve, because down in sixth position in the second Williams Renault is Heinz-Harald Frentzen.
He's okay, he's picking up the pace. He was obviously just checking the car out as he was going round. He had a couple of very slow laps, but now Villeneuve is getting back on the pace, and this is amazing, Murray. Suddenly all these people in the grandstand in front of me are jumping up as Villeneuve goes past, but Louise is in the pits.
Lap 57 completed now for Jacques Villeneuve, so he's got 12 laps to go, and he's picked up the pace because he's only half a second or so slower than David Coulthard at the present moment. And as Martin has pointed out, and as Eddie Irvine is closing on the McLarens in front of him, Irvine in fourth position, but as Martin pointed out, Coulthard and Häkkinen are not making any real impression on Giancarlo Fisichella, who's been lapped by the leader and is down in 11th place. So it's looking very, very good for Jacques Villeneuve to win the race and the World Championship in only his second year of Formula One. And down in the pit lane, news from James Allen in the Williams area.
Yes, I'm just looking at the telemetry. Villeneuve's car took a knock on the water radiator. They're keeping an eye on the temperatures at the moment. Everything is okay. But in the meantime, obviously Villeneuve is just taking it nice and easy, just nursing the car. Patrick Head has just walked down and into the McLaren garage, obviously to have a word with them down there. Interestingly, Mansour OJ, during the course of this race, who is Ron Dennis's partner, and Ron Dennis himself, have both been up to see Frank. This is before all the drama happened during the course of the race. Whether it was to do with what was going to happen on the track, the influence of Coulthard and Hakkinen on the outcome for them, I don't know. But nowadays, right now, Patrick's gone into their garage, obviously, to talk to them about how they deal with this race.
Yes, and interestingly, I saw Jacques Villeneuve coming out of the McLaren motorhome also on Saturday. I think Villeneuve was slowing everybody down in Japan in the hope that somebody would overtake Michael Schumacher, and McLaren was saying to him, why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you let us in on your secret if you wanted us to be overtaking Michael Schumacher? So we told our man to be careful not to get involved in the leading accident. So quite clearly, I would suspect that Patrick has been and said to Ron Dennis and go, look, you know, if your guys come up, then Jack is not going to give them a problem.
Oh, he's got 10 laps to go, including the one he's on, and David Coulthard and Hakkinen continue to catch him. And that's Shinji Nakano, the Japanese driver, that Villeneuve has just lapped it. Nakano is in 10th place, and the gap between Villeneuve and Coulthard is 5 seconds, and Coulthard is lapping about half a second faster than Jacques Villeneuve, so it's not enough, I think, to take the lead away from Villeneuve in the closing stages of the race, because Jacques Villeneuve will have a very wide car if he doesn't decide to yield. And he's on lap 59 now. The Williams are looking good, and you look back in the centre chicane and you see the two McLarens going together almost as one. Eddie Irvine is 4 seconds behind them in 4th place. Gerhard Berger is still 5th in the points in his last Grand Prix. Heinz-Harald Frentzen is behind, very close to Gerhard Berger. It would be nice to have a look at him because Berger's giving him a hard time.
Look at the way Nakano's staying with Villeneuve. Slow lap there from Villeneuve, 26.5. McLaren's taking another 0.4 of a second. The gap now down to 4.7. I tend to disagree with you. I think those McLarens are going to be snapping at his gearbox in the very near future. There's 10 laps to go, time enough for them to be giving him a hard time. And if they show him a wheel, he'll be jumping out of the way because he's seen enough wheels in his side pod for one day.
Yeah, I've just had an agonising reappraisal of the whole situation, Martin, and I think you're right. That is what is very likely to happen. And we're on lap 60 now, but still Giancarlo Fisichella, he's just lapped in 125.8 in comparison with David Coulthard's 126.1. So Fisichella is holding his end up, but he's down in 11th position. Top 10, Villeneuve on lap 60. 4.7 seconds ahead of David Coulthard and holding firm. Hakkinen 3rd, Irvine 4th, Berger 5th, Frentzen strength. Well, Williams have always built in depth. It's always been Frank Williams and Patrick Head's policy to get good people all the way down the line. And they've got an enormously strong, powerful organisation at Grove. With those 9 Constructors' Championships under their belt, it looks as though they're about to have another Drivers' Championship and a new man, Jacques Villeneuve.
Well, Berger's driven a good race. There's Berger. In fact, that's 4th, 5th and 6th, very close together. Irvine, Berger, Frentzen.
3 seconds ahead of Olivier Panis, who is in 7th position, the top Bridgestone runner.
Interestingly, Villeneuve allowing Nakano through there. Villeneuve really backing off, and now look how close the McLarens are. That's, we saw Fisichella and the two McLarens in the background. Villeneuve letting Nakano through. How strange.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it's by no means impossible that there is something awry with the Williams. His last lap time was 1 minute 26.0.
There's been nothing. I don't think there's been a problem with it up till now, but why has he allowed Nakano through? It was good to have Nakano.
He's about to let Fisichella through from the look of it, and Fisichella's got Coulthard right behind him. It looks indeed as though Villeneuve may not win the race. After all, we're on lap 65 with 66, 67, 68 and 69 to go.
There's the damaged barge board in the middle of the car underneath Villeneuve's helmet we talked about, but the gap is down
3
now.
seconds he's lost on that lap.
It was definitely, on that lap, he lost a full, more than that even, Murray. Yeah, 3.5, nearly 4 seconds. He really backed off. I don't know why he wouldn't want the Nakano between him and his two pursuiters. At least he's got Fisichella still there to help him.
1.9 seconds between Jacques Villeneuve that you're looking at on lap 66 and David Coulthard, who's challenging for his third win of 1997. There he is, David Coulthard, who won in Australia, who won at Monza in Italy. Now, Fisichella is going to elbow his way past Villeneuve. This is lap 66. There's only 3 to go after this. But there's a long way in terms of time between Villeneuve, who leads, and Frentzen, who is second. Well, not all that much, come to think of it. 7.3 seconds. And Villeneuve is holding everybody up. He's going to have a wide car now. He's going to try and stop Fisichella from getting through. And Coulthard and Häkkinen, there they are, second and third. I said it was going to be a barnstorming finish, and that is exactly what it's going to be as Häkkinen challenges Coulthard. They're coming up to complete the 66th lap.
Here's a race win here for Häkkinen. He can see it, and Coulthard can see it too, and he blocks Häkkinen on the way into the last corner. Those two are having their own private battle, as meanwhile...
Yes, Mika Häkkinen goes through and takes David Coulthard.
Coulthard lifted off, for sure. Coulthard lifted off. The team must have told him, let Häkkinen through. We think he's faster. For whatever reason, Coulthard had to let Häkkinen through.
Sorry, Martin. Irvine fourth, just behind them. Berger fifth, just behind him. Frentzen is in sixth position. 6 seconds. 6 seconds covers the top 6 on lap 67 out of 69. What an incredible finish. There is Coulthard. There is Coulthard behind Mika Häkkinen, who is bearing down on Jacques Villeneuve. Mika Häkkinen has yet to win a Grand Prix, and the Swede has driven in, the Finn has driven in 95 of them already. He can smell victory.
Well, Villeneuve's picked up his pace again. He's back in the 26s. And while the McLarens were squabbling over that last corner and letting each other through on the pit straight, they let the gap get back to 2.6 seconds, and it's given Villeneuve a breather. And still the Jordan is there between him and the two McLarens.
Well, now, if Häkkinen can get past Fisichella and go for Villeneuve, I hesitate to say this, but I'm going to nevertheless, Häkkinen will be very determined to win, and he will force his way through. But then Villeneuve, I'm sure, will just give way. He's much more anxious to win the championship than the race, and he's now on his 68th and last lap, but one. Okay. And look at Irvine. Irvine is closing on Coulthard.
Clearly McLaren think that Häkkinen is faster. They think Coulthard had enough chances to get past Fisichella, hasn't done it. We've been talking about it. Now they've released Häkkinen and saying, you have a go at Fisichella, because for whatever reason, Villeneuve is ailing, he's limping just a little bit, but he can still respond. We're on board with Häkkinen as we move into the back straight, heading down towards the hairpin at turn 6. A good place to overtake, but he's too far behind. There's the blue flags flying. The blue flags are out. Fisichella now has to move over within 3 marshals posts to let Häkkinen through. There's the blue flags again. Yes, he does. That's allowed Häkkinen through. Now he can have a go at the back of Villeneuve's car. But it's too late. I think it's too late unless Villeneuve really does have a particular problem.
This is going to be an absolutely riveting last lap coming up as Jacques Villeneuve goes into the Senna chicane. And those are turns 10 and 11. Turn 12 is the right-hander. Turn 13 is the last corner of the track as Jacques Villeneuve turns in to start his 69th and last lap in the lead. And he's on his way to the World Championship now, without a doubt. He's on to the last lap. But Mika Häkkinen is going to try to win this race.
Well, the Ferrari fans are waving Häkkinen on now outside our window. And here we go. They're into turn 2. Villeneuve appears to have it under control. I don't see where Häkkinen's going to find that kind of time in the remaining 2.5 miles. But he'll give it a good try. There he is, 3-3 and 4. Coming up now to the fastest corner of the track, about 135 through the top. Villeneuve's online, no problem, keeps it inside. Häkkinen homing in on him all the time.
And 5.3 seconds covers the top 6 in this amazing race. So, Häkkinen now right behind Jacques Villeneuve with just a few corners to go. Round the left-hander. Mika Häkkinen can see that victory. 5 points. Here's the replay.
Here's the replay. This is going to be interesting as Hakkinen, who's brilliantly homed in, he dispatched Fisichella, now homed in onto the back of Villeneuve. Villeneuve slows early for the chicane, and well, it's very, very easy, wasn't it? Candy from a baby, that one. We thought Villeneuve would jump out of the way at any sign of trouble, and he's looking in his mirror. Look, there's some kind of arrangement going on there, because Villeneuve's looking in his mirror saying, well, come on then. And 2 McLaren drivers, 1 and 2 on the podium, and Jacques Villeneuve, the new world champion.